Hello, good morning. Can you hear me?
We can, thank you.
I have a caller who's been watching C-SPAN and has been looking at the sides of the issues. I'm not sure, sir, if I had seen you before on the program. I'm so glad that you have come here to basically clarify the conservative view. I'm a Republican. I voted for Reagan. I voted for the Bushes. And I understand that there are demographic situations here. I'm in Florida, and there's Arizona and Washington State. There's a lot of guest worker programs that I'm familiar with in California and Washington State and Oregon. But unfortunately, things have changed now, and you know this. We have an element of crime problems that are coming over the border, and that's a huge issue. The second is that scares most of us, black, white, Latino, whatever conservatives, is our voting rights. That has to do with November and on and on. How we'll be able to actually document these workers that may be voting in our elections illegally. And just to talk about the further issues, the LLC licensed corporations that hire guest workers, that still is such a gray area that I'm not sure I can support LLCs anymore and people who actually have companies that run those.
Well, thank you so much for the call. I mean, Florida is an interesting state where in the senatorial race, the conservative candidate, the staunch conservative, is a Latino, Marco Rubio. So it goes to show that, there you go, you have a Latino candidate who's very much conservative. On crime, I understand the issue. I understand why Arizona actually passed the law that it passed on immigration. There is frustration, and there's no doubt that there's a very small minority of undocumented immigrants that are involved in criminal activity. But I think that we should go after the criminals, after the drug traffickers, and not after good, hardworking people just because they're undocumented immigrants. You're not going to reduce crime or reduce drug trafficking by detaining good, hardworking people who pose no threat to the security of the country. And in terms of voting, clearly, we want U.S. citizens to vote, and you know that's a whole another bag of beans that we have to look at in this country to make sure that our election system is transparent and effective. So people, it's only U.S. citizens vote, and only once. But clearly, you know, we don't want people who are not citizens voting. But again, I think undocumented immigrants who are here want to become part of the mainstream. They want to be part of American society. The majority of people we're naturalizing in this country today are Latino. This country, people forget, we are naturalizing Americans, new Americans, in record numbers. In the past 5 years, the past 10 years, we've naturalized every year at least 500,000 new citizens. In the past few years, that number has even reached 1 million. The majority are Latino, who care deeply about this country and who are loyal Americans. Latinos also serve in the military, not even being citizens. As permanent residents, they can serve in the military. And we have 30 to 40,000 immigrants, permanent residents, not yet citizens, serving in the military. So it goes to show that they come here because they love this country and what this country stands for. They don't want to change it. They want to contribute to it.
The Arizona law and the stance of Governor Jan Brewer, Republican, right. How has that affected the Latino vote?
Well, I think there is an impact there. There's a perception that the law is anti-Hispanic. Certainly, the administration has capitalized on that. I think we don't favor the law. I think it's unfair. It goes after, again, good, hardworking people who pose no threat to society. It may lead to profiling as well. I think it distracts from law enforcement efforts. But having said that, I think Democrats and the Obama administration have used the law, have overblown the reaction to the law has been exaggerated and overblown, and they've been trying to insert an element of racial confrontation. They're using the Arizona law to say, well, all Republicans are anti-immigrant or anti-Hispanic. That is a tactical mistake, however, because they're assuming that Latinos are so gullible that they're going to believe that every single Republican is anti-Hispanic or anti-immigrant. Again, I just mentioned Carly Fiorina. There you have a candidate who is polling very well among Latinos, has a good position on immigration, and so yes, Arizona has had a negative impact, but I suspect is going to have more of a negative impact with those Republican candidates who are staunchly against immigration.
Do you think the Obama administration should not have challenged the law?
No, yes, I don't think, look, I don't like the law. I don't think the arguments they've advanced in court are necessarily very valid. I think instead of challenging the law in Arizona, they should have focused on pushing immigration reform in Congress. The fact of the matter is that Latinos are upset at Obama and the Democrats in Congress because they promised that they would work on immigration the first year of the administration, and they didn't. The president has not campaigned, has not talked publicly all over the country about the need for immigration. So the Latino support for Obama has gone down incredibly. From 67 to 57%. And some recent polls show that on the important issues to Latinos, including immigration, he's polling at even lower numbers. So I think recognizing this, they're using the Arizona law as a political move to appease Latinos who are angry at him. But the fact of the matter, I think, is that that's not enough. They want to see the president show his leadership on immigration and also talk specifics about immigration, because he thinks that by just saying that he's for comprehensive reform, that Latinos are, going to say, okay, he's for comprehensive reform. The fact of the matter is that they look at the details of his plan, as he outlined recently at American University. They don't see anything that's comprehensive because he's not going to the root of the problem, which is establishing a guest worker program.
Our guest is Alfonso Aguilar, and he's the executive director of the Latino Partnership for Conservative Principles. He was appointed by President George W. Bush in 2003 as the first chief of the Office of Citizenship, and you were born in San Juan, Puerto Rico.
San Juan, Puerto Rico.
And you're a son of immigrants.
Son of immigrants. My mother is Italian, and my father is Costa Rican. They're both naturalized Americans. So when you have, when your parents were immigrants, you get an appreciation for America, for the freedoms and liberties that we have in this country. And also having been born in Puerto Rico, a territory of the United States where we are U.S. citizens, but we don't have full civil and political rights because we can't vote for president, we don't have adequate and proportional representation in Congress. It just gives you a real understanding of the great promises of our Constitution. So, I'm just happy that I can contribute to this discussion within the Latino community.
Let's hear from Robert, independent caller in Mississippi.